are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
And hot.
That's a lie. That is a outright lie. It's coffee. Sorta. Not hot. And it's not damn good. The wife made it. Enough said. She beat me to the punch. It's like I got to get up at like 4 a.m. to make sure she doesn't make coffee so that I can make the coffee right, because she can't make the coffee right. She's incapable. She just refuses. And then she complains that it's too weak. It's just not right. Good morning, folks. Today, September 2nd, Friday, September 2nd, 2022. Hope you had a good week and are preparing for a great weekend. It is Labor Day weekend here in the United States of America, which means most people are off Monday to celebrate labor. We do know labor or something. Actually, we're celebrating the labor movement, which, funny, big portion of the country is not appreciative of. We have a holiday to celebrate the labor movement, and we have probably about 80% of the people who have no connection to the labor movement, and probably about 50% of the people who are outright resentful of the labor movement. So it's just odd that we have a holiday for it, that we take off for it, and most people just don't give a fuck. Anyway, what's going on in the world? Well, last night, the President of the United States of America gave a speech that I did not watch, and I would not watch. And half the country is up in flames over it. Oh my God, he's so mean. Why is he so mean to us? Well, don't be a Nazi. He called out the MAGA crowd. Now, I know what he said, even though I didn't watch it. So this is my point here. You don't have to watch these speeches. The important things that he said are going to trickle through social media pretty quickly. Indirect quotes. They are on fire that he called out the MAGA people. Oh my God, how could he call us fascists? How could he call us enemies of the state? Well, gee, where did that concept come from? It's like they forgot who their idol is. And here's the other part of it. Nobody gives a fuck about Joe Biden. Nobody worships Joe Biden. Nobody even likes Joe Biden. Even the people who voted for him don't really like him. He's nothing. He means nothing to anybody except maybe his wife and his crackhead son. Maybe they care about him, but most people don't. We don't have cult relationships with people. They are so fucking hung up on personality. All they're doing is, Biden hate this one, and they can have it. I'm with you. Fuck Biden. But after sucking Trump's dick hard for 5 years, 5+ years, including all the time he was running in the post presidency bullshit, just drop the fucking cult of personality crap. Really, nobody gives a fuck about it. If you want to get down to political issues, we can talk about political issues. But the cult of personality, really, it's time to go with all that stuff. So they're on fire about that. I don't give it. And the networks, now the people on the left are a little upset that networks here in America did not, ABC, I think CBS did not cover it. Maybe NBC too. I think that's a good thing. It's not like you can't find it if you want to watch it. I don't even have television, and I could have watched it if I wanted to watch it. Who the fuck wants to watch a presidential speech anyway? Talk is cheap, folks. Talk is cheap. This is, as I mentioned, Labor Day weekend, and I've got a busy weekend coming up. And starting tonight, I'll be performing at Doc's in Island Park. Great place, great place. I'll be performing with Kiera as Little Bits, tonight, acoustic fun. But it's a really cool venue. Island Park, New York, on the water. Got some crashed planes there on the beach. I don't know what that's all about. It kind of looks like they made it seem like oh, Polynesian island where maybe I don't know. You fly in with Lady Lindy and just crashed on the beach, and that's where you landed, and that's where you're stuck. That's what it feels like. Anyway, um, I wrote a song the other night about somebody I knew whose last call, last call for alcohol, last call to me, last call to say goodbye to the world was to me. And it wasn't somebody I knew very well. It's just a casual friend. But she was very religious and thinking that ending her life, committing suicide, was a way that she was going to go be with Jesus. I tried to talk her out of it on the phone. And just the idea that, first of all, even if you're really devout and you believe in that stuff, going home to Jesus, um, I think it's pretty much forbidden in the, within within the context. I don't know this for a fact because I don't read that book. I don't, I don't study the book. I'm not who the fuck knows what it really says. But I believe killing yourself automatically uh, cancels you out from whatever destination you think you were going to. In other words, heaven and hell. I try not to use words for because it just seems so absurd. But if you believe you're going to heaven, committing suicide, I believe, was a one-way ticket, punching a one-way ticket to hell. I don't know that for sure. I mean, that's what I've been told. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. Anyway, so I wrote this song, and I kind of fictionalized it a little bit. But I got to use the word Shady Dell and Bisbee in the song, and I don't know, it just came out naturally, and I figured, you know what, that's pretty cool. Shout out to my friends in Southern Arizona. There, I'm gonna play the song now while I'm waiting for William Conway and Preston Williams. William Conway's the co-host today. Preston Williams is a guest. Preston Williams is a young comic, I believe, out of North Dakota, not South Dakota, but maybe it's North Dakota. Boys in North Dakota drink whiskey for their fun. You know that. But the cowboys down in Texas, they polish up their guns and they look across the border to learn the ways of love. That's what happens. Anyway, this song is called Mansion in the Sky. It's a really quick, very short song. Something I wrote and recorded just off the cuff, just me and acoustic guitar. It's not like a polished studio recording or anything. Here it goes. It's called Mansion in the Sky. This is Mansion in the Sky. Take 99. Well, the last time I saw Alice at a truck stop north of Dallas, she was headed west with nothing but the clothes upon her back. When she called to say she missed me from the Shady Dell in Bisbee, I realized she'd gone too far and wasn't coming back. She said she finally wrote a thesis and she was going home to Jesus. I asked her what would happen if she didn't find him there. She said she'd had a vision Inspired by religion, then she took some pills and went to sleep. And I don't even care. She threw away her life for a mansion in the sky. And I know that it ain't right, but I have no tears to cry. Cause she put her faith in something that to me is all a lie. Well, lately I've been thinking that maybe I'll quit drinking. For a moment, maybe I could finally see things clear. But I couldn't find a reason, with nothing to believe in. So I changed my mind and I rolled a joint and opened my first beer. She threw away her life for a mansion in the sky. And I know that it ain't right, but I have no tears to cry. She put her faith in something that to me is all a lie. She put her faith in something that to me is all a lie. Yeah, mansion in the sky. There you go. Remove that sucker. Anyway, that's a little bit. I just was pleased with myself that I could come up with a line that had the Shady Dale and Bisbee in the song. For those, shout out to the folks in Southern Arizona, Bisbee, Arizona. William's with me now. Let's bring him in. William, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning, Matt. I actually listened to that song last night.
Oh, you did.
I
You,
did,
you're
yeah.
the one.
Was I?
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing quite well this morning.
Labor Day weekend. You do anything to celebrate Labor Day?
No, not particularly.
Right.
Um,
Have you ever been a member of a union?
no,
Right.
no.
Do you know people? Are you friends with people in a union?
Oh, definitely. I definitely have trade friends that are in unions for sure.
Okay. Are those people appreciate or do they celebrate this day like it means anything to them? Do they know the meaning of this day and what it's really supposed to celebrate?
I mean, those people especially just get a little more drunk.
That's what
Is base?
that's what like a Memorial Day is the same thing. Like the meaning
Yeah,
of the holiday is nothing, but it just strikes me this one in particular because so many people in America aren't even supportive of unions, and we have a large
right,
segment of America now that resents unions and the whole idea of them, and we still celebrate it, have a day for it. People are happy to have the day off and be able to drink and do all that stuff, but nobody really thinks about Labor Day. What does that mean? What do we
right,
celebrate?
right.
It's funny to me. It's funny.
Yeah, no, it I think it's pretty ridiculous. But and what's even more ridiculous to me now is like that there's a holiday for everything. There is an whatever you can think of, there's a day for it. I'm telling you.
Is there
And if there's
a
not a
comedy
day for
day?
it, you can make it happen real easy.
Is there a National Comedy Day?
Oh, I'm sure.
You
I'm
should
I'm
look it up.
I'm
Wait,
yeah.
wait.
I mean,
Somebody in the chat room there. If the people let me say
yeah.
hello to people in the chat room. I didn't even look to see who's there. Uh, Chat room. Oh, good morning, Carl and Dean. Looks like a lot of Dean. Does Friday Goodbye Day mean this is the last episode?
No, stop
Kind of,
it.
kind of does.
Stop that talk. I
Uh,
love it here.
Now this is a country song. Good morning, Kelly. Call again, Kevin Summers. Nobody likes quitters. Well, I'm not quitting. Um, Kevin is in Facebook today. I guess that's part of listening at work. Kevin, Labor Day there now. Does as a vet, do you guys are you guys behind the whole concept of Labor Day? I'm just curious about this. I'm on the Labor Day kick this morning. With regards to this morning show and what's going on. Um, I have nothing scheduled for the entire month of September, and thinking well, I'm certainly not going to do a show Monday, which is Labor Day, and I'm probably not going to do a show at all next week. And think about where I go from here. I'm thinking uh, because I'm up late. I'm up late at night, and I'm seeing a lot more people on social media late than I thought they were. Because I thought everybody's working people. Well, everybody in America works, but I'm seeing a lot of people up and on social media late. So I'm thinking of starting late night when I do this again, and leaving the morning where it is. I don't know. I really actually don't know where I'm going from here, but I know next week is probably going to be a nothing week. Turn the lights off, leave the show on ice for a week
Uh,
or so,
oh
maybe a whole
man.
month, maybe a
Oh
whole
man.
season. I don't know where it
Dog,
goes.
dog, you're breaking my heart here, dog.
Why? I mean, it takes a lot of energy to do this,
Oh,
and
I bet it does. I can only imagine.
the evening show is burning me out. Every show on my evening show this week, the guest was a no-show. Last night, I had a reputable doctor who he's an author, first-time author, and he booked this thing and had his public. Every one of them that's been through a professional publicist, by the way, and they all hung me up this week. It's like that beyond feeling like disrespected, like you got all dressed up for a date and stood out and waited to get picked up and they didn't show up.
Right.
Beyond that, this is my bread and butter.
Yeah, I get it.
It's like somebody just took a payday, a daily payday away from me. So it's like, fuck you, man. That's total disrespect, and it happens too often for me just to
Right.
just kind of just keep taking it, keep getting kicked in the balls and saying, "Give me another, please. Give me another." I've really been rude to some of the publicists who like, oh, I'm really sorry about that. Can we reschedule? Are you fucking kidding me? You're really sorry? Can we reschedule? That's it?
Right.
Pay me for the day I put together. It took me to put together the whole fucking thing. That's what. Then we could talk about rescheduling. I don't know. Am I being petty?
No, no, I don't think so.
I mean,
I
about the
think
money stuff. It's not a lot of money, but it's just the fact that somebody just decided I was taking the day off without pay today. Strangers decided take the day off without pay today. William,
right, right.
it's like fuck you. When you wasted my time. Plus, I get there an hour early, start setting stuff up and all that crap. Ah. I'm looking for this picture you wanted to share today. I have it somewhere. I want to add it
I
to
mean,
the.
yeah, I sent it to you on Messenger because, like,
All right.
I don't, you have all the controls, but I was like, I saw this morning, and I was like, I just imagined. Can you imagine, like, you're walking somewhere in the morning and you see some bullshit like this sitting off to the side, you know,
Yes,
like,
I can imagine. Unfortunately, I've had those moments where I was like, "What the fuck is that?" But let me see if I can add it now because I'm a little behind the eight ball. I didn't see it till just a few minutes ago.
I sent it like just before the show.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah,
I'll get it here. 1 second. Yeah,
yeah. It
oh,
was
there it is.
ridiculous. And it reminded me of have you seen the movie Dinner with Schmucks
No,
with Steve Carell?
no, I like Steve Carell.
Yeah. Oh, I love Steve Carell. He's hilarious. And he's one of the schmucks in this movie, Dinner with Schmucks. And he takes like rats and makes like living, like puts them in like little clothes and puts them in like living situations and takes pictures with them. So like when I saw this thing, that's immediately what I thought of was Dinner with Schmucks.
All right,
I
let
was
me
like, oh
show it.
my god.
There it is. Now, what is that? That's what it looks like a squirrel. No, what is that?
Yeah, it looks, yeah, that's a squirrel, like it's yakking in a toilet with like alcohol and stuff
That's
like it's had a really hard night.
that's one of
Like,
the issues with Andy squirrels. Well, we should share that with him without a doubt. Yeah.
yeah, dude, I was like, what the, like, I showed it to my wife and I was like, man, dude, that's,
I wish it was a little
uh,
higher res so I could zoom in and see what's on that toilet paper.
right,
I'm
right.
curious.
Because like, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, you know, I get having hobbies and stuff, but you're playing with a dead squirrel. You're playing dress up with a dead fucking squirrel.
Yeah.
Like, Jiminy Christmas, people. Like,
There are some chats going on. I've been off Mondays my whole life in the service industry. Just another Monday I get off. Well, you know what?
oh yeah, sure, sure
Let
for
me
Labor Day.
That is part of what labor has won. That's what the holiday is all about. All those hard fought things that unions in the service industry fought for to get that Monday off as part of it.
Now,
Because it used to be 7 days a week or 6 days a week. You know, people would work 6 days a week and only be off on Sunday no matter what. Unions are the reason we have 5-day weeks now in the labor movement.
right.
That's what we're really celebrating right there in a nutshell. But people don't know that. People don't care about that. Call with the dog from Monday, pro Trump, pro Rogan, and and lots of laughs. Okay, you can have it. Um, I'm going through withdrawals already for what?
Of you, yeah, no, she's saying that if you leave, she's all the idea of you leaving. She's already going through withdrawals. I want you to be.
I'm not
I want to be
leaving.
clear. Oh, okay, well, people, you're making people nervous, dog. You're making people nervous. Not for nothing, but you're making us nervous, man.
Wait, I'm not leaving. I'm taking next week off
A sabbatical. He needs a
yeah,
sabbatical.
and thinking about where I go from here. I really
Yeah,
want to do the evening show. Listen, look at my energy here.
yeah.
And then compare me to even my nighttime stuff. My nighttime stuff, I'm doing stuff with serious authors sometimes, and I've got a lot more energy. I would love to be able to bring that energy to having comedians on. Also, doing a late night show will allow me to get some really cool comedians on rather
Well,
than, you know,
and
having to
and
take
and
first month
maybe
open
think
mic.
about this aspect. You could talk to comics post show. Think like maybe that's a show idea
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like getting comics fresh off the stage,
that would be great.
and you know what I'm saying? Like that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, it depends on the personality, but yeah, some of them don't like that. Or some of them don't like before. Some of them don't like after. Almost all of them don't like before, but some of them don't like after either.
Yeah, I don't
But
think. I mean, like just before, I think would be a little like
oh
I want to get it in my head in a
yeah,
certain
right,
space before I
exactly.
get up there.
Yeah,
Especially if I'm doing a long set. If I'm doing 20 plus minutes, leave me alone before the show.
yeah. So doing it at night would give me more opportunity to get hired. Not that because it sounds like I'm disparaging all the comedians that have been on. I've had some really good comedians on the show, including you and lots of people. But I've also had more than my fair share of open micers who've done 3 open mics so far, calling themselves comedians, and I didn't not know that when they approached me about being on the morning show. It's like
Right,
that's what's available the majority of the time. Oh, wait, you've
right,
been in comedy 3 months?
right.
I've
You
been in
know,
comedy 3 months, and I don't even do it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, like I know for myself, like when I kind of lost my website or whatever, because I had a website going and t-shirts and everything. And when that went kaput, that was kind of a shot. Like I feel less legitimate without my website, I'll be honest. Like
yeah.
like it makes me feel like I've been knocked down a rung or two.
Nobody has a website anymore. You know what? When I first had Steve Byrne, by any measure, is a really, really successful comedian. Even some people, all comedians. It's a matter of taste and objectivity and subjectivity and all that stuff. But when I first had him on my show, he is a guy who had a 3-year network television show. He sells out venues all over. He worked like concert arenas, and his website was down when I had him on. I had to tell him that, like, your website's all, oh yeah, because he did it himself. So you know, it's not a status symbol at all. It was 30 years ago. Now nobody gives a shit if you have a website or not. Do you have a link tree with all your social media on it? That's more important than having a website. People don't give a fuck about going to your website. They care about,
Right.
where can I find you on social media? Where can I fucking stalk you?
Oh, you know what? So that's interesting that you say that, because I wanted to bring this up. So a new tactic that I have is that, like, I would show people the lay down your guns video on my phone, and then I realized, you know what? That's really stupid. I'm going to start using other, like I'll say pull up your YouTube, and then on their phone I search it on their phone, so it's another view for the video, right?
Right.
And then if they like, if I play the song for them, while I'm playing the song, if they let me hold on to their phone, I just subscribe to all my socials while I'm
Yeah.
while I'm
There
having
you
them
go.
listen to the song.
Yeah. A link tree, I think, is free too. You can just put together a link tree and just and get that and just tell them to go to link tree slash
Yeah, I'm gonna check
Cowboy
that out
Comedy.
later today. I also need to work on my EPK, that thing. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
entertainment press kit. I need to punch that up a little bit, because I like the one I'm using is probably like 18 months old.
Right. The people don't go with EPKs anymore too. They go with one pagers. I'll send you my one pager so you can look at what it's like. It's really simple. I mean, a one page PDF is what they're looking for. Really quick. One your headshot image, your bio, what you've done, a little bit of your history, and that's it. They don't
Just
give.
on one page.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, people. I got into it in the podcasting industry because that's what people want to get booked on the show. That's what I get
Right.
all the time is
You
one
know, I'm
page.
pretty sure that's what Alex Elkin sent me when we talked about doing this Veterans Day show. He sent me a one page thing like that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I think he's the only one that I've encountered recently that has it like that.
All right. Can you give me a little Elvis? Are you lonesome tonight? Are you gigging tonight? Yes, I'm gigging tonight. I'm at Docks in Island Park tonight. Tomorrow I'll be at Catch in Lindenhurst, closing out the beach shows for the summer, which is kind of fucking up my mood lately. It's like I love when summer comes here. I love doing the beach shows, especially in the summer. The last one breaks my heart always.
Well, sure, I could see that.
It's like, fucking
It's
summer's over.
rightfully so, Doug. It's a sad moment of the season.
Right,
It's
yeah, life changes, and then not to get back into politics, but there's this old man who was very conservative. Was on Twitter last night, and he's talking about. He said Democrats want to radically change the world. I want to preserve America. And I was like, dude, the world changes. Things in the world change. You can't hold on to the past ever. It doesn't work. You can't hold on to the America you want is gone. Forget about that. The America of your childhood ain't never coming back, and it
Oh
never
God, no.
should. Right?
Fuck no. Like,
The world changes. You change with it. If you don't, you die. That's
yeah,
it.
it eats you alive. If you can't get with the times, the world will chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We
agree
have
with that.
Preston in the back, but I'm gonna let him wait just a little bit while I want to make sure I get because last payday to get today.
Governors.
Yeah, today's show is brought to you by Koa Coffee. Except I can't, in good faith, say this is the best coffee I've ever drank this morning, but it's not Koa's fault. It's my wife's fault. She made the coffee. If she would just let me make the coffee, it would be outstanding. But it's not. So
Do
it's
you
it's
use creamer in your coffee, dog?
depends. If the wife made it, yes, I will put some half and half in it because
I got
it's
I
just
got
terrible.
some Snickers creamer. They have like a Snickers flavored creamer. I got that for my wife, and I don't think I'm allowed to get any other creamer now. She
Well,
is.
if you go with Koa coffee, you will never want to use creamer again. It's just pure, delicious heaven coffee. And I'm saying that because they're our sponsors, and I'm waiting for a check. That's why I'm saying that. No, it really is. According to Forbes magazine, Koa Coffee, check it out, William. This episode is brought to you by Koa Coffee. If you are a coffee connoisseur and want to experience the best coffee Hawaii has to offer, no blends, no compromise, try the true taste of aloha. Koa Coffee produces premium Hawaiian coffee, hand-picked, expertly roasted, and delivered from Hawaii to your door with aloha. From award-winning 100% Kona coffee grown on the slopes of the Mauna Loa volcano to the unique mocha beans of Maui, they strive to provide their loyal customers with the best Maui quality Wowie and beans. freshness. Since 1997, Koa Coffee has been known far and wide as a product of utmost quality, and their awards prove it. Koa Coffee was featured in Forbes' Top 10 Coffees of the World. This is the coffee Forbes called the best coffee in America. Find out what it's all about. Creamer. Go to MindDogTV.com/coffee. Wait, this is the best part of the commercial here, right? This is what I love. Come on. Hey, where is she? Hey, baby. Hey, mister. Hey, baby. Turn around. I want to talk to you. Hey, yes. Would you like some coffee? Coffee. I got coffee back in there. No? Well, no coffee. Oh, well. I lost William there for a second, but he's back now. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm so sorry about that. I got.
No. You were.
I had to
nobody
put
knew.
I had to put my phone. Yeah, I know that. I was like, oh, it's perfect. This commercial break, I can fix this. It's great. But I put my phone on do not disturb now because that's the problem.
Damn
keep
people
trying
want to
get
call
ahold of me.
you.
I'm
What
a
are you
popular
getting?
guy.
You can't be getting telemarketers or bill collectors this early in the morning. That's illegal. It should be illegal.
Oh, okay.
Bro, I want to tell you that the company that I used to work for as a telemarketer in the 90s, we were definitely the kind of company that that made those laws necessary.
Oh,
Like,
you have no idea.
Like I worked for a terrible telemarketing company in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like it was like I remember our assistant center manager would come out onto the calling floor and she would say, I want to see phone calls ending one of two ways. Either it's a sale or they hung up on you. Like they told us to badger people.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
Like it was, dude, so
I know.
ridiculous.
I know. Jamie thinks he's gay. I think he's right. I'm pretty sure he's right.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. There's only one way you're going to find out. You just got to test it out and see. You know what I mean?
Test it. Just wave a dick in front of him. If he bites at it, you know he is.
Oh man!
Or if he tries to sit on it.
You know, it's really interesting. It's really interesting to watch to listen to a gay person because I've had a lot of people. I've had a lot of gay people try and convince me that I was gay. Like when I was in my 20s, especially, I go out to clubs and gay guys would hit on me and they would just try and convince, oh, you're gay, you just don't know it yet. And I'm just like, I'm pretty sure that if I'm gay, I'm going to be the first one to know. You know what I mean?
Did you ever watch pornography?
Yeah, of course I do.
Now, do you prefer the ones where the man has a little dick or a man with a great big dick?
Okay, hang on, Ron. I just want to say, I like big hard throbbing. I did not know that about myself.
Yeah, I always steal from the best. By the way,
dude, he is one of my all-time favorites, man. Yeah. I mean, when it comes to storytellers, there's nobody better, really.
Right. I think we had a callback when you did your what the polar bear stuff. It was kind of like
Oh yeah,
reminiscent
yeah,
of his tater
yeah.
salad.
Tater salad. Yeah. I actually the alias on my paperwork is actually One Nut. Actually,
Well,
because back in like the early 2000s, that's what everybody called me. Everybody, like, there were people when I got my first felony for distribution of marijuana. I was in jail with people that didn't even know my real name. Like,
right.
they just kept hollering One Nut, and I
Well,
was like, hey,
I have one a friend here who's we call him One Ball. He was One Ball and I was Cue Ball, and then we had
nice,
another guy who was Eight Ball because he was a cokehead. So we
right?
had almost had a whole pool table ready to go.
That's
Uh,
great.
Ralph says, "Tell William to open this window and put a family put a family." And I'm getting secondhand smoke from his picture. I don't know what a put a family is. Open
Yeah.
the window and put a family.
Oh,
Uh,
fan, probably a fan in or something. You know
oh,
what
a
I mean? It probably
fan.
ought. Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet you it's something to do with a fan.
Yep, he did said fan. Anyway, Preston Williams is with there's a Preston Nichols or Preston Wilson. Preston Wilson was a Met. I don't know. I was thinking about this. I've only known 3 or 4 people Preston, and their last name is all like Williams,
Oh, he's
Wilson.
got. There's dude. Hopefully, he'll tell you more about his name, because his whole name is actually quite fucking ridiculous.
Right. You want to do the intro for him, or should I? I could read his intro if you want to. Yeah, I'll read this one, and if you want to just say
Okay.
something. Preston is a
All right.
young, energetic comedian who has performed on stages from North Dakota to California and is dedicated to bringing a great show to any stage he performs on. His authentic, fast-paced style, paired with his story-centered comedy, always makes for an entertaining show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in the fabulous Preston Williams to the
Hi.
Buffalo Talk Show. Morning,
Woo!
Preston.
Yeah, yeah.
Morning.
What's up, Preston?
Do
You
I, I,
got
I
my
tell
old
you now?
hair.
I know it's quite a fro. It's
Yeah.
How
How's
are
the
you?
collarbone?
feeling good, feeling a lot good. I got out of a.
You turned into a cat.
I thought I got them all out, but this
I
one.
almost couldn't tell the difference.
All?
Yes, this one. I got this one because it looks like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Wow. You say all. How many?
What was that, mate?
How many cats? You said all.
I'm not going to tell you that. You'll judge me.
Oh,
There's-
you're a crazy cat lady. Okay, not a
Oh.
problem.
No, he lives with his family, so like I'm sure it's got more to do with the women in his life.
No, they're all me and my wife's. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Now,
got 4 of them.
Your voice
4?
kind of threw
4
me.
cats. See, I was right. I feel the judgment.
Yeah, no. Your voice kind of threw me because I was expecting. I should have watched the videos that you sent me, but I was expecting a deep country baritone voice behind you, and then I hear this. I'm like, wow, that doesn't fit the picture. Did anybody ever tell you your voice doesn't match your look?
Yeah, I've been told I have the voice of Gilbert Godfrey, but the energy of the ShamWow guy.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's actually a pretty accurate description in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who said that, but that's pretty on point.
I think it was actually someone at the roast for you
That may
that
have been
said that to me during. The
Oh my
roast.
god. Yeah, and so Preston, my first I think my first headlining gig or whatever, Preston was my host. And me and Preston have been friends for a couple of years. I mean, we pretty much clicked as soon as we met. And I had Preston host the show because I'm like, oh, have my buddy introduce me. That'll be great, you know? And he does this. I gave him a big long intro. I really did. It was, and there were parts of it that were a real mouthful because I'm an egomaniac and that's what we do. We like to be introduced in grandiose ways, right? And he gets all of that completely right. And then somehow, even though we've known each other for years, Preston completely forgot my fucking name.
Yep. I had to
so
clear out the space for the speech.
Yeah. I don't, dude. It was so funny. Like I couldn't even be mad because like you did so good on all the intro stuff. I was so happy you were right on. And
You
then
mean
like
the
no man,
monologue?
I'm
The
like, how do you forget my
monologue that you
name? I'm
gave
like,
me.
we're fucking friends, right? Oh god, it was
so what
great
did you
though.
say? I mean, you didn't say William Conway. What'd you say?
Sorry, I had to grab my phone off my desk. It was vibrating. No, I just said, I think it's like, please welcome to the stage. Fuck.
I think that is the first word you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did the monologue full in cadence. Just like, please welcome to the stage, the wonderful and talented. Fuck, I forgot his name.
Oh, I would give.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I have it recorded. I'll have to dig it up. It's because I every once in a while I'll play it back to myself just to laugh at it.
I
You know
think
what
you
I
should
mean?
have just stopped at fuck, and they would have been like, "Wow, a comedian whose name is fuck. That's
What a
pretty cool."
bold choice. That is a bold choice.
You can't put
Yeah.
them on the marquee too often in some towns. Anyway, you wouldn't be able to put them.
Couldn't perform in Utah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
That's
yeah, North Dakota. Are you from North Dakota or are you from
no.
South
He's
Dakota?
from South Dakota.
Thanks, because I'm not here, Will. Yes, I'm
Oh.
from South Dakota.
Good
I
one.
didn't need to come,
No,
apparently. Will got me.
that was perfect. Fuck, fuck,
Fuck.
fuck you, fuck. No, you can talk.
Yeah,
Just
you
don't
can
answer
talk. You
questions
can
for 'em.
talk.
No. Yeah. No. I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. You want to hold his hand through this whole thing?
Dude, listen. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Put it on blast, Will.
We've talked about possibly doing stuff in New York. I don't know if you know this, Matt, but this is my number one pick right here.
All right.
Like if I'm bringing anybody like this guy right here, this fuzzy little like orange Q-tip that we got down here, I want to bring this guy so fucking bad because they'll love him. They'll
Yeah.
eat this guy up. He's high energy all the way. I fucking like I adore this guy. So
That's cool.
I'm a little too excited probably is what the problem is.
So, Preston, you've gone the other way. Gone the other way. You've
Well, no.
gone west. Have you been on the East Coast at all? Have you done any East Coast work?
Never. That actually in my intro where it says I've been from North Dakota to California. I've been to California exactly once and North Dakota exactly once. That's called good marketing.
No, that's fair.
It was an
That-
open mic in California, but I was still on stage there.
Yeah.
I
Accounts.
headlined on Broadway in New York. I headlined on Broadway
Oh,
in New
that's
York.
awesome. I grew up on Broadway in Watertown, South Dakota.
Ah. But when I headlined in Broadway in New York, we worked at the Jerry Orbach Theater, which is right down the block from where David Letterman used to be. It's a theater on Broadway. It was owned and run by Snapple at the time, but was doing a hair and beauty show, and I was the musical act for that.
Oh, that explains it. I was worried you were a model.
For the rest of my life, I have headlined on Broadway in New York City, Broadway performer. That's what I am. So same thing with your North Dakota and California stuff.
You know, if we're doing that, I mean, I was part of a concert choir that was invited to Carnegie Hall when I was in high school. I mean,
There you go.
Wait. Okay, now that is questionable credits. Because I think if you want to claim the credit, you have to have done it after you started your career. I think like that's the only rule.
Or actually done it, not been just invited to it. I was invited to come.
Yeah, you actually had to do.
Well,
something.
hey, you know what? My government cheese family couldn't afford the $2,200 it took to go on the trip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, like this is part of what drove me crazy about my dad growing up is like I didn't know that we had like a bunch of different family in California that we had like no contact with. I didn't know about them until I was in my like 20s or whatever. And if they'd have known that I was invited to, they'd have like paid to do that all day long, like because they're like investment banker type people. You know what I mean? You know, people that don't generally talk to my level of stature.
All right.
You know, they're
Preston, have you ever been to jail?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No wonder you guys get along.
Yeah. He's a little crazy.
I got mine done early. I stopped being so rowdy when I was around 2019 or 19 or 20. But yeah, no, I did my fair share of troublemaking.
Wow. It's I guess every comedian who's ever been on this program has spent some time in jail, I think. No, not Mark Masters who was on this week. By the way, you guys really need to get in
Yeah,
touch with him. I mean, that's a real happening scene where he's booking. And so I
and that
mean,
comedy festival sounds like it's pretty legit. I've heard from
it's
other
it,
comics
it
that
all
it's
is.
pretty good.
The Vale shows are really, he's getting national headliners, and you can get a chance to kind of, we've talked about this. It's just all it is networking. It's just getting
Yeah,
if a major headliner. I'm going to just pull one out of the hat. Let's Bill Burr. Bill Burr. We'll go. Bill Burr sees you and says, "Listen, I'm going on the road. I saw you. I thought you were real. You knocked me out. You want to come do a bunch of shows with me?" That's a career breaking moment. That
yeah.
is,
Right.
to borrow a phrase from William Conway, lightning in a bottle.
Like that's what I'm looking for, dog. That's all I want.
Yeah. So, Preston, now what is your schedule like now? Because are you still in South Dakota? Is that where you are?
Yeah, I'm still in South Dakota. I actually had to take a hiatus for about the last 6 months. I had some stuff lined up. I had to cancel a bunch of stuff. I actually just broke my collarbone.
Yeah,
I
you
just
did.
got out of the sling about 4 days ago, but
Uh,
I fell off a wall. I
fell
done
off a
Humpty
wall.
Dumpty myself.
Wow.
Yeah,
What were you
yeah,
doing
you
on the
did.
wall?
It was my mom's house. I was helping her with some construction, just trying to be a good son, help out around the house. Here's the part that I think is funny. I don't know if my family is great at nicknames or terrible at nicknames because I fell off the wall and they all started me calling me Humpty Dumpty. And
Right.
I have a distinct memory when I was like 6 running into the tree and they called me George of the Jungle for about 8 months. See, everyone laughs at those. So I don't know if those are genius or stupid.
We'll leave that up to the chat room to
Yeah,
decide.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but you don't think now? Did you sue your mother?
No, I tried to, but I
Listen,
gotta get that insurance money.
yeah, absolutely. No, if my mom was still alive, and I did that, she'd be encouraging me to sue her.
Oh yeah, no. She started the paperwork. She
Yeah. I
I
mean,
was still in the sling. She was already, yeah, my son's about to sue me. We're gonna have to figure
yeah,
this out.
yeah.
Oh,
You gotta.
dude, his mom is a wonderful lady, but she's just as crazy as Preston is, if not more. And but she's awesome.
You know
Yeah,
what?
no.
Dean's saying he's been to jail. What do you think Dean has been to jail for?
Do we get a pro? We
Oh
don't even get a profile picture on Dean. Just the name Dean.
It,
no, well, I
Frauding the
know
school
Dean from the
board.
podcast a little. What
yeah,
was it?
Frauding the school board.
that could be.
Dean.
Could
I'm gonna
be.
say public urination.
Well, maybe don't disclose it yet, Dean. We'll leave the chat room open to guessing for a while, and then we'll come back to it later and ask what Dean actually
Th-
went to jail for.
This
Uh,
is almost like Dykes and Min when they do their mugshots.
yeah. Dean is a very colorful character. He's co-hosted the show. He's got traumatic brain injury and cerebral palsy, but he's from Oregon. He's lived in, I believe, he's been all over the world. He's lived in many countries. He's got a master's in philosophy. Just a really
I didn't know that.
yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
know. Right? Kind of surprising. So, and he's a reggae DJ on top of all that. So he's got
There you got me.
so yeah, he's a very well-rounded, very colorful young man. So, oh, he just gave it up already. Drugs, drugs
Drugs.
in the house, public. Oh, yeah.
That's better. I know the reason I went to jail is someone came up. We were at a party. They asked, "Do I know where any drugs are?" And I said, "Go ask that guy." That is the lamest reason.
Really, that is pretty. You don't want to be in a cell next to Bubba when he says, "Hey, what are you in for?"
No, especially when I did a lot of other crimes. That's really rude.
I know, I
Right,
know.
right.
Listen, I've never been to jail, and the fact that that is a fucking miracle. It is a fucking miracle because I most of my young life was in borderline criminal or hard on criminal, straight on criminal. So whatever, I got away with it. Lucky, just lucky, I guess. Um,
When I was locked up, there was a guard that always bragged that he used to sell pounds of weed a month and just never got caught.
you
But he
know,
would just brag about that. It's like, you guys are
What a
just all
fucking
idiots. I used
douche.
to, he would walk around like, I used to sell pounds.
you just reminded me I need to get in touch with somebody. An author I had on my evening program did a book about what he was claiming was like a Tony Montana character, but he was a guy who just ran weed out of Miami, and he was a weed was his only business. He wasn't into coke, but importer and smuggler of marijuana back in the 70s and 80s, but from Colombia. But talking about like cargo ships full of reefer, like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of reefer in a day. Like to me, I never knew. Yeah, you'd figured drug smuggling,
Yeah,
cocaine, heroin, all that kind of stuff. I never knew that smuggling weed was that huge an operation that this guy was making hundreds of millions of dollars, like a king of Miami type of
yeah.
money off of it.
Which
Right.
is crazy because I don't know if you ever been down to Miami. I was down there for about a vacation of a year ago. And I tell you what, it was literally easier to. I had to turn down cocaine trying to buy weed. It was,
Yeah.
it was the weirdest thing. It was the weirdest thing. I'm like, hey, can I get? I'm just looking for an eighth of weed, just, a 50 bag. He's like, no, but I can get you 5 grams of cocaine. I'm like, I'm just one.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
So, how long have you been in the comedy business? How long? When did you start doing stand?
Going on about 5 years now.
5 years.
I'm
Uh,
rounding up. It sounds better.
yeah. Did it was something you always planned on doing?
Um, kind of. I've always been a big fan of stand-up comedy. I grew up watching it. I remember getting on trouble. I remember getting in trouble on school buses for stealing jokes I heard on Comedy Central that I didn't understand.
Yeah, I remember the telling jokes I didn't really get.
I was actually thinking about this the other day. It's an old Dane Cook joke, which it's a short joke, but it's a joke is if you ever go into a movie theater and someone ever goes, the floors are sticky, just lean into their ear and go, I just came. Now here's the funny part. Here's the funny part. Here's how I told that joke and
on
thought
the
I
school
understood
bus.
that joke as an 8-year-old. I had the setup right, but I had no idea what the punchline meant. So I messed it up and I thought it meant something different. Like, so blah, blah, blah. If you ever in a movie theater and someone goes, the floor is sticky, just lean in their ear and go, I just got here.
Yeah. I
Oh
got
my
here.
god, that Jesus.
It's just, and in my brain, I was like, it's not my fault. I just got here. It's not my
Came?
fault. The floor's sticky.
That's
Came.
some Biff shit right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking back to make like a tree and get out of here.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's Biff. Definitely. Biff all over
Yeah.
it. It's good that you credited Dane Cook with that because I'm sure when he stole it from whoever he stole it from, he didn't. He didn't
Oh,
credit.
before I got in here, you guys were talking about you tried to do the Ron White bit, uh,
Yeah.
cop or whatever. And actually, like, I'll never, it's faux pas to steal other people's comics material on set,
Yeah.
on stage. That's obvious. That obvious. But in my opinion, if you're in real life and a situation comes up where you can do someone's joke in real life, I think that's just hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm a big Mitch Hedberg fan.
me too. I do Hedberg stuff all the time, and of
You
course, I can't do it like he does it, but
exactly, and that's what I learned because there was
Right.
someone in front of me in line bought just a donut,
yeah.
and the cashier asked like, "You need a receipt?" And I just chirp up, Why the fuck would she need a receipt? She goes, she's going to eat that donut and then get the fuck out of here. There's no proof of purchase necessary for that donut. It's not necessary. You're wasting space. I messed up the joke.
Right.
And you were arrested immediately.
I was arrested in public, and that's how.
No, I totally get that. And, I've gotten, because I deal with a lot of Bigfoot people because the nature of my evening shows, I get a lot of, and try to use his Bigfoot is blurry joke with those people. And it doesn't register at all because they're true Bigfoot believers. And they just look at it like, why are you dissing Bigfoot like that? What are you being mean to Bigfoot about it? But to be fair, I was not doing Ron White's bit. William said people questioned he was gay. I think that part of Ron White's bit is a very good test of.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not sure if you're gay, think about it.
Yeah.
Do you like little dicks or you like big dicks? If you like big dicks, chances are greatly increased.
I like big heart. Yeah,
you might.
Now I can't stop hearing it in my head. The way, I hear him in my head clearly.
Oh. I did not know that.
I did not know that about myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I had someone the other day. A friend of mine just called me just gay, kind of jokingly, not really no hate behind it. We're just joking around. I go, I'm not gay. I checked.
I checked.
Less gay than you.
Yeah, exactly. I've explored, asshole.
I checked. You're unsure.
Yeah. Jackie Martling, when he says, and I know he's got a reason to say this because his entire act, his entire public persona is based on this. But he says there's really no such thing as a new joke. It's just everything has been every concept. Yeah. So it's just a reworking of concepts that have already been out there for 100 years, even if So I don't know. The whole stuff about joke stealing, it comes down to me. How close is it? Is the setup and like Mencia with the Cosby thing? That was too dead on. The exact same premise, exact same punchline. The whole everything was too close.
That's why it's super important as a comedian to find your voice. Because if you don't find your voice as a comedian, you're going to sound like a hack, no matter what. Finding your voice is the most important thing, because until you find that true voice, no joke is really going to be your own. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
But everybody starting out, when you're first starting out, you kind of got like you could be Ron White's voice in your head. You're doing or Hedberg or any of these people. When you're first starting out, you're taking your hero's inspiration and kind of channeling it in some way, right?
Yeah,
yeah, of course.
Like a painter, you're inspired by other painters.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't say you're not.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing that Hedberg came up, and I wanna do a mini short documentary on Hedberg, because I think even though he was starting to break through public consciousness when he died in a bigger way, I think there's a lot of people who don't appreciate him, don't even know about him. People who, if you're not a diehard comedy fan, you probably don't even know who Mitch Hedberg was. And I think so. I'd like to do a mini documentary on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he has such a style. You can actually hear someone do a Mitch Hedberg joke in the wild, and even if you don't know that joke, if they do the cadence right, you'll go, "That's a Mitch Hedberg joke."
Right.
He was just so distinct. That was a style.
Yeah, and so many of these guys, so many of the great ones died young. In more than musicians, comedians tend to buy the farm pretty early. You can go down the list of them, but how many people make it into their 60s in comedy, or even late 50s? I mean, is it the drugs? Is it the I don't know, the lifestyle, the lone wolf lifestyle? Because at least in rock and roll, you got your buddies with you, right? You're traveling with the same people, even if you hate them.
I think it's
like
ZZ Top. You think we'd lose a lot more comics to a car accident?
Yeah,
I think it's
that really just occurred to me.
That's absolutely true.
You never really ever hear that coming up.
No, we
Yeah.
thought we lost Sam that way when we were on the live stream. He was driving on a mountain, and
Oh God!
all of a sudden he was off the live stream. Like, what happened? We lost Sam. He just drove off a mountaintop.
And then you didn't. How long was it before you heard from him again?
6 months.
Yeah, no, like I didn't.
Well, that's Sam.
Wait.
He's the milk carton comic. He goes missing for a while, even though he's
Yeah.
out there performing. He just gets off the grid. I don't know, whatever. So your heroes. Now we mentioned Hedberg. Who are your big heroes growing up? I mean, comedy wise.
The first one that honestly, when I saw it and made me want to do comedy is Kyle Kinane, the Wiki Icarus special.
Wow.
I remember watching that at 8 years old and having to pause it because I was rolling on the fucking ground, crying, just laughing. And it was just like, holy shit, this is awesome. And then what really got me is actually not a comedian, but a writer. I'm blanking on his name, wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Douglas Adams.
Wow, I don't know that one.
Oh, if you've never read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it's a book series. It's a radio drama originally produced by the BBC. And he made one number one best-selling author once the book was released. But then what really got me is I just saw that and I thought it was funny, one of the funniest things I've ever read or really consumed media-wise. And then it's all sci-fi comedy. And then what he did is he wrote a series of books of him actually going out, and it's called A Last Chance to See. And it's him actually going out into the real world. And it's him telling real world stories about going in, exploring and seeing endangered animals. And the way he actually presented real life and just mundane facts, but he still wrote it and like he was writing a sci-fi comedy, and it was still so funny and poignant, and it was about something that was true and happening in real life, that it just inspired me. That he's writing about things that are just happening to him right now in front of him. I can do that. I don't have to make up a whole universe and stories to have ridiculous ideas in them. He's looking at the real world and he's making jokes about it.
Yeah, I always appreciate that. A lot of people, I guess, didn't knew him. I don't know him, and that's surprising to me. But I will definitely look. He's still alive or no?
Oh no, he's passed away.
Yeah,
all the good ones. Yeah, you never figure out the ones you like till they're dead.
I think it's the extreme up and down. You know what I mean? When you're, especially these more successful comedians, if they're doing, packed houses and stuff like that, that is an extreme high. Like the euphoria you get from that is
that night.
Yeah, it's really fun. And like a lot of comedians, like you were talking about, like when you're on the road with your band, you have your bandmates and stuff like that. A lot of comics, especially nowadays, are traveling by themselves and staying in motel rooms by themselves. So you go from that extremely high euphoria to that really low loneliness very quickly. Right. And you do that again and again and again and again.
I learned from Mark Farner that ZZ Top, they all three of them went until the guy died recently, Frank, whatever. They had separate buses. They hated each other, so they toured in 3 separate buses.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's fucked up. But my band, now you brought it up, we hate each other. We don't fucking. We've been together 22 years, and everybody in the band hates each other completely. We don't talk. We don't do anything together. We've never had like a band hangout. We never. Hey, let's get together and do something. No, I hate you.
That's like Penn and Teller. They don't do anything together, Penn and Teller, outside of their acts.
I did not know that.
Yeah, no, they don't hate each other. They do that so they don't hate each other. Like we make too much money. Let's not hang out. That's literally what they had a discussion.
Let's not muddy the words up here.
I'm cool. Let's go our separate ways. I'll see you Thursday.
I think Teller
Yeah.
was Penn's teacher, right? In high school or something. I'm pretty sure that's how that relationship began. That's a little
I don't know about that one. I just knew that.
Yeah, I have
yeah,
no idea.
I'm pretty sure that's how they got together. Teller was the science teacher, and Penn was a student. Which, okay, whatever. So, tell me about your first time on stage. What did you go to an open mic night? Were you invited to do something? Tell me about your first breaking
Okay.
your cherry in comedy.
Okay, so this one I actually got a little bit of interesting story because yeah, open mic first time, everyone's terrified when you do your first time up on stage, obviously. And what are you saying to yourself? Oh, what's the worst that could happen? They don't laugh, right? They don't laugh. I get off stage, I go home, maybe I try it again, right? So we're signing up for this open mic, and this guy comes in off the street, goes, I'd like to sign up. Goes, all right. Booker or guy running the mic goes, "What's your name?" He goes, "I got to give you my name." He goes, "Yeah, if you want me to call you." He goes, "Shit, just call me Laugh the Puppet. If I don't get a laugh tonight, I'll kill myself."
What?
And I'm thinking, if I don't get a laugh, the worst thing that could happen just got a lot worse.
Yeah, no. I was with you when you said that. What's the worst that could happen? Because the worst that could happen is I will be so depressed I will go home and kill myself. I've been there. When I bomb, the worst bomb I ever had was when I first met my ex-wife, my first wife, and she brought her entire family to meet her new boyfriend.
Oh
And
God.
it was with a put together band where nobody knew each other. I just put this band together for a gig, and we never met, and nobody was on the same page. Like we couldn't play the same. Nobody knew the same songs or anything. We're on this gig, and it was just like the worst fucking catastrophe ever. And I just met her, and her whole family is thinking, "Wow, man, she really hooked up with a real loser this time." And so it was a like maybe I should kill myself tonight
Yeah.
moment. So yeah, no, when you say what's the worst that could happen, that's always in the back of my mind. I could suck so bad that I want to kill myself. That's
Yeah.
why I'm not doing stand up right now. I'm serious. I mean, I could have done it last weekend, and I said, you know what? No, if it doesn't go well, I
No.
might, I might not.
I tell you one thing I did have to stop doing. I'm no longer do. I don't think I'm ever gonna do a comedy competition.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
really?
No, those like maybe one of the bigger ones, but they have smaller ones like around here sometimes, and you're always ends up. Even the people that are win go. That scoring system was fucked up.
yeah.
There's
Well,
never a good way to score comedy.
oh,
Yeah.
I disagree with that. So I think I would like to the when I first started doing comedy, there's a way you could do it. It has to be a mix of both, in my opinion. In order for a comedy competition to really be accurate, I think that it's good to have judges that determine the top three, and then those three go on stage and you have like a clap off or whatever to determine who wins the crowd vote among the three that the judges thought. You know what I mean? I think that for a competition to really be accurate, it needs to have both opinions of a judge and just the crowd vote. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
No,
I
yeah, so many times I've been to competitions though that it's just like I've watched the guy. I'm like, I'm not gonna win. That guy or that guy clearly killed it. They had the crowd roaring all their whole set, and then they don't win. And that's
Right.
the point. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. Like, it's not even that I didn't win. It's like that one of those two guys should have won for fucking sure, and they didn't.
Right.
I have a completely different mindset about it. I'm not a big fan at all of anything in the arts being competitive because
Right, that too.
it's all objective or subjective and it's taste stuff. So a guy can be really good clean comic versus a really good outrageous comic. They're both great at what they do, but in different ways. So you can't. It's like comparing apples and oranges. Art is
Right.
not sports. We have a tendency to want to make everything a sport, even politics.
Yeah.
Comedy, music, all that stuff. I always hated battle of the bands. On that note, Kill Tony, that kind of thing. If you guys, what are your thoughts on that? Because to me, that's a tough thing because you got to bring 1 minute of great. You're familiar with the Kill Tony format? You do.
I think I heard about it once. I think Will told me about it.
Right. So it's three comedians on stage, Tony Hinchcliffe, and two of his guests, and usually it's like Tim Dillon or Joe, Stanhope. Even these people, Duncan Trussell, all as judges, kind of. And a comic has to come up and do 1 minute of killer material, and then they fucking rape him without a drop of lube. Your act sucked and all this. And I mean, and how can you compete with that? You're an open mic level guy. You're going up there to do 1 minute, and then you have to get raped by three professionals who are, this is their
Right.
lifeblood.
Yeah,
It's brutal. It can be really brutal.
yeah.
But it can make a career too if you do well.
That was
Right.
actually one thing learning early on in my career. I hated at first. You only get 5 minutes on the open mic. I hated that at
Right.
first, but I realized no, I'm not good. No one wants to listen to me talk for 15 minutes. And then it, but then I did what got me to appreciate is I thought of it like painting. When you paint, you have the edges of the canvas. You have limitations. You got to learn to work with your limitations,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
eventually, getting better at it, you realize it's harder to do a 1 minute set than a 15-minute set. It's
Right.
insanely hard. I forget who
No, I
said it.
agree. Totally agree. Because
Yeah.
you have to be really quick to get to something hysterical. Sometimes, like in a 15-minute set, you a setup can take 3 minutes. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's my thing. I'm a mainly storyteller, and I think it's Mark Twain, but don't quote me on that one. Said I would have wrote you a shorter letter, but I did not have the time. That one always that's the one that I heard. They kind of got me thinking about it. You
yeah,
have to be able to fit that, and if I want to getting a long story to fit into 5 minutes exactly, I've done it. It's a good feeling. It feels
right.
like you painted a good painting when you
Uh,
hit that time right.
you mentioned roasting William. I would have loved to seen that, but what do
I
you think
wish
of?
we had video.
Oh,
It was good.
you didn't videotape it?
I don't think we did.
I think we live streamed it.
Oh, if you live
At
streamed it,
Bosses.
Yeah,
Bosses might have live streamed it,
see,
maybe. I
let's say
think
live streamed it.
because we did have online viewers. I think.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it
Um,
was online.
dude, it was like right after my birthday in 2021, which by the way was a super like I was going through a really bad depression, and so I booked a roast of myself, and so I had 7 comedians
Egomaniac.
and my second ex-wife tee off on me. It was it was pretty good.
It is a brave
Yeah.
dude that invites his ex-wife to his
right? I
roast.
just thought the same thing. Like, what kind of
And
set of
he,
balls have you got?
he gave us
Yo, hey,
he gave
listen,
us material.
I've been told many times. For a guy with one nut, you got a lot of balls. Yeah.
No, the ex-wife stuff. That is you're asking for trouble. You're asking for it.
Yeah.
So, but I want to talk about the roast battles. Have you guys done the idea of just two comedians like tearing each other a new asshole on stage for competition?
I actually did that once when I think it was my first or second year of comedy. Me and another open micer did that just kind of as a writing exercise. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I tell you some of the jokes, but you don't know the guy, so they won't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I always see that it's because you got to be quick with that stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, you're right. So because that was always my concern. Like you can't be prepared for that. Maybe you can. You can have a ton of your mama jokes or your mama's so ugly, your mama's so fat,
Mhm.
kind of, and then try to rework them on the fly.
Right.
Uh, but
I
that
remember one of the ones I told for Will. Will looks like Macaulay Culkin got addicted to Burger King instead of heroin.
Oh god.
I love it.
Uh,
and that would be your response, will you just sit there and take it?
Oh yeah, dude. I took it all in stride, dude. And believe me, there were some heavy hits, because I got a history, so there was a lot of material.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I
do.
mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of shit you can say about me, but that's okay. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole point of it. The um in the comedy world, that's love. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I get it. I think it's an honor.
yeah,
To get to the point where people want to roast you, you have to have made an impression on them that they care enough about you to kind of come out and celebrate you, even though I'm gonna fucking bust your balls as hard as
Oh
I
yeah.
possibly can.
yeah.
Good
And it
stuff.
was, I mean, it was really cool, especially because like I think I don't how long had bosses been in that new room too, you know what I mean? Like when me and Preston started doing gigs in Sioux Falls, we were in the side room of a pizza place that like maybe held 20, 25 people, but like they set it up to make it really feel like a club, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And like
That's one
when
of
we
my favorite
started,
spots.
yeah, dude, like those, like honestly, the days when we were having standing room only at the bosses at on Minnesota, those are my favorite days in comedy. And I miss those. When we moved to the bigger room, um it just it was awesome to get the upgrade, but we lost a lot of the atmosphere, I think.
Yeah.
Is it
You know what I
because
mean?
is it because the crowds didn't fill the room? Because sometimes I played. Listen, I played a show last year or the year before. It was a solo show, an acoustic show on a stage that in a room that held 3,000 people for 4 people.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
that was embarrassingly weird, but the size
yeah.
of now that's a super exaggeration, but when you move to the bigger rooms, it's not as full. Like what Mark Masters was saying, you want every room you play in to be a fire hazard. Like you can't fit
Yeah.
one more person in there. So
There's
is
Yeah.
that the reason or is it just the size? Because if it was still full to capacity, would it?
No, yeah, I think that was definitely a part of it. I think lighting was a part of it. The lighting at the other spot was way better. Um, you know, um, and I think those two things, like the size of the room and the lighting difference, like really made the difference in the atmosphere. But I mean, there were times that they packed out. We they moved because the expansion was needed, and now they moved again. You know what I mean? So I
yeah.
mean, it's so.
All right, let's get
I
back
mean,
to
they're
Preston
obviously
here for
going
a
in the right
second.
direction. Yeah.
Let's get
Sorry.
the collarbone thing.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. He's a
If
champ, by the way, because he did the dope show for me, like with his arm in a sling
no, that's
Oh
what I
yeah.
was
days
just
after he broke his
that's what
collarbone.
I was just gonna say. Like, it doesn't seem like a something that would put you on the sidelines for comedy. I could see if you were a professional football player, but a collarbone, you could do comedy with a broken collarbone. No,
Yeah, it was well a little bit. I tried. No, I did his show with 12 staples on the back of my head. I'm a trooper. But
and
when I did that, it
that
was
was just for fun.
yeah.
Hey
Well,
man,
I didn't know it was that bad. Originally, when they took the X-ray, they thought it was just a fracture, and then at some point, I think when they stood me up in the ER, I heard the pop and it shifted. Then it was just bad. I just had to really just lay down. I just slept for 3 weeks just to let it heal up proper. So
Wow. Lots of drugs. They put you on lots of drugs for the pain and stuff.
oh no, well, I actually got a history. Well, you're gonna get some fluff here, my cat.
Oh, hey, that's a cool effect.
That is a cool effect.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Look at that. I gotta get that effect. Where do you
Yeah,
get that?
oh my god,
Man,
it's
that
oh
cat's
my
got a
expensive.
lot
god,
of hair. But so
jeez.
if you got to offer a big show tomorrow, not that I have one, but if you had an offer for a big show tomorrow, are you ready to go, or you still need more time to recuperate?
Oh no, I'm back. I'm back at it now. I'm getting back at it. I'm actually started working on a new project. Sorry, I can't take this cat serious.
That's right. Hey, it's part of live television.
Right?
That's what I love about doing it live. People have asked me to pre-record shit. Like
Ah, then
fuck
they'll
it.
tell you get rid of that. You should get rid of that cat. No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but no. I'm back on the road again. It's finally it's usually fine. It's just I don't want to get sore and then injure myself, so I couldn't really ride on the road. But no, I'm back at it. I've actually been working on my first project since being injured. I'm putting together a fundraiser for the Sioux Falls Humane Society here.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and we actually just yesterday made a commercial for it. We took a tour of the facilities and kind of showed everybody what they do for the place. And
No,
um,
it's for animals, right?
yeah,
Yeah, but not for people. They
not
don't
the
be
Human Society, the Humane Society.
right, but be humane to animals. Fuck people.
Fuck
Don't.
people, yeah.
People
That's what
suck, man.
that's what always gets me about the Humane Society because I've done gigs for the Humane Society. It's like, don't you want people to be more humane to humans? I mean, also, I mean, I'm fine with treating animals nice. I'm a
Yeah.
big animal guy, but I think our biggest problem is man's inhumanity to man, and we just don't. That's not something anybody wants to talk about. Though. Let's just be fucking rude as shit to people. That's fun. So yeah, so you're ready to get back to work now. The fundraiser stuff that's interesting. I mean, you get involved in a lot of causes.
Well, I try to. I'm a little religious, and it's part religionist. I'm a little religious, and it's part of my religion to donate some of your a portion of some of your time every year. And I just had a really good year, even including the collarbone. And I realized I haven't done a whole lot, and I was kind of feeling down on myself too, not being able to go out and do much. And instead of just being down and kicking myself, I'm like, well, you're a comedian, you have contact, go ahead, go do something good for the world instead of being down on yourself. So I just started putting this together, calling some local businesses. We actually already got 1,500 in pledges from local
Wow,
companies.
That's
So yeah,
cool.
it's already went way faster than way better than way better, way faster than I ever thought it was going to.
that's pretty good. No, I agree. I mean, I do a lot of volunteer work. I do a lot of those are important. I can't turn this fucking thing off now. Fucking bother me. Um, Important to do for your own well being, for your own mental health. I think sometimes those are the most rewarding gigs, and sometimes sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes it can be a real depressing thing because I do I did a gig for where almost everybody in the room. I did a gig 2 weeks ago for there were probably 50 people in the room, and probably 3 or 4 might have had some form of consciousness that I could see. And the rest were catatonic in wheelchairs like this. So that could be a depressing gig. I mean, you basically for dead
See,
people.
that's interesting. That's an interesting gig. That'd be interesting to do because that is a good thing to do. And you almost I would be interested if I got that gig because I feel like the only thing I could do and what I would do is just lean in
Me,
and
yeah,
make fun of
that's
them specifically because that's why they're here. That's why they all agree to this event. And I'm sure that's always been my big thing with talking about in comedy another group that you're not involved in. I think if you have a good joke about if I have a good joke about black culture in America, or I'm getting married to a woman born from Mexico. If I have some jokes about that culture, I'm not exactly related to that culture, but if I have a good joke, I should tell it. Think I have an obligation to tell it because by not telling it, I'm leaving those people out.
right.
You're
No,
excluding now you're excluding people
Right.
because of their race. If
right.
See,
you
but see, that's
if they enjoy
that's
that
the
joke,
side people don't understand.
yeah, and
Right.
always test
That
it. Like I have some jokes that I've written about Jews, and the first day I wrote it. I'm like, I'm probably never going to tell this. I don't want to get somebody else. I don't want to upset anyone. And then I walked into the place, and there was a dude with a big Jew fro and a big Star of David necklace and just he said he was a Jew twice in conversation. I overheard him, and I'm like, God has a sense of humor. He wants me to tell this joke, and I told that joke. I'm like, I'm telling this joke to you. You gotta tell me if it's okay. He goes, that joke's Jew approved. That was hilarious. That was
Um,
Jew
I'm with
approved.
you. I'm with you, but I I don't think I'd ever have the inclination that I shouldn't tell this joke. I just feel like, you know what, I got to be me, and if people like me for who I am, that's fine. If people
Yeah.
hate me for who I am, that's fine. But if I think something's funny, I'm going to take a chance and assume that, especially another comedian's going to be funny. William said
Right.
that's the thing that people don't understand, and I'm wondering who the people are. Are we talking about the audience, comedians, people in the business? Because I don't think the audience is as sensitive as we kind of make it out to be. I think you can tell that joke, and the audience is not going to get outraged by it. It's going to be people in the business, comedians on a lower level, saying, "You know what? This is a good chance to kind of
Yeah,
lift
knock this
myself up
guy.
by attacking somebody else," all that kind of stuff. But so,
Um,
what do you say when that's what people don't understand? Who are the people you're
okay,
talking
so and actually, this actually
Here, I
will
got this
lead.
one for Will since you spoke for me so many times. What Will means by those people are black people. That's what Will meant. And I think we need to kick him off this call because that is
Yeah.
unacceptable behavior.
Oh my god!
So,
Oh, that was good.
William's now canceled. You can't be on the show.
Oh
Can't
shit!
be
I'm
on the
sorry.
show
This is
anymore.
my first podcast I've ever
That's
been
the
on, too.
people
It was
I'm
a lot of
talking
fun.
about. Cancel culture. That is what cancel culture doesn't get. And by the way, this is a good segue to this idea that we've kind of spitballed a couple of times. Because have you ever noticed that the people who are talking about, oh, you can't say that because that's offensive to people, are never in the class of people that they're saying are going to be offended by it. Like
Yeah.
they're not part of the demographic usually.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Um, uh, and so, like the whole little people thing and the whole midget thing, like part of what's funny about it is to have like a, a normal sized person be
Can't say that.
like,
Can't say normal.
like
Definitely can't
I,
say normal.
I don't know. What do you say? Like
That's
a
What's you can't
regular?
say normal.
I don't know. Tall?
There you
Like
go.
what? Which way am I supposed to say it? I've never been. You know, there needs to be a class. Isn't there a class
No,
somewhere?
this
Can't
is
you
the
take
game.
like
There
what
are
do they call
classes. I'm
that?
sure your job will make you take one
It's
eventually.
some kind of what's the
yeah,
name of the class?
sensitivity training, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need that shit super hardcore.
No, I don't think you do. I think we're oversensitive, but maybe that it's normal to want to say normal. It is normal to want to say normal because we
Yeah,
Right.
don't. But maybe we should have like taller
can't
than
say
the
that.
sign at the carnival. You
Yeah.
know, you must be this tall. If you're taller, don't. That's what we're talking about. There's a
Right.
comedian on my Facebook page who is a little person. I don't know if he calls himself a midget, but his name is Clinton Shorter.
Yeah, yeah. I got him on my Facebook too.
No, we got to get him. I got to approach him and
I
see if he's
messaged
down with.
him. I messaged him, and I haven't heard back. I can't look at it now because we're on my phone.
You would
But
think because that can't be his real name, right? The last name, he can't be.
I mean, you never know. You
No, he
never
made
know.
that up. That's his stage name. It's
It
got to be.
probably is.
It's like if my
Okay.
name was
It
Matt
doesn't have
Baldy,
to
you
be,
wouldn't.
but
If
it could be. You know, it
I
could
came out
be
as,
his
hey,
name.
I'm Matt Baldy, you would be like, no, that's not your real name, dude. Matt Baldy. You know what I mean? It's made up for show business, and that's a cool thing to do. But you would think he'd be on board, and he might be the good guy, the point man to get this.
Yeah, no, I think so. Like I sent a feeler message to him, but I haven't heard back. So
Yeah,
if you want to message him too, that
I
maybe
will.
yeah.
I think I asked him to be on the show once.
In case Preston's a little in the dark here, what we're talking about is we're talking about organizing a
I
march of
just
little
assumed you knew.
people on the town of Esterville, Iowa, because their school mascot has been for decades the Esterville Midgets. And they combined schools a few years ago and became the Esterville Lincoln Central. And even though that would have been a perfect opportunity to switch their name to something more appropriate, they still go by the Midgets. And I think in this PC culture, we need to put a stop to that.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
Can we make it not a march? It sounds like that would take a while.
You know, it would be good to get the MG car company behind this whole thing,
Yeah,
and
we
they
can
could all be
drive on
driving
the
midgets,
town.
MG midgets. You got midgets full of midgets.
Can we put
Oh
them
my
in minis?
god. Oh my god. I didn't even think about that. That'd be great. And maybe Mini Coopers, some Mini
Yep.
Coopers in there. That'd be great.
Some Fiats. See how many we can fit in.
Oh my god. Dude. Okay, so I think we should take a whole year to plan this thing, and I
For
think
next
that we
year,
should, like, because we could totally. I think the best plan is during their homecoming parade, like as their homecoming parade is coming up to the announcing booth or whatever. It's just met by this horde of midgets, of little people. Excuse me,
Can we
little
get
people.
300 suits of Spartan armor made in their size?
No, I don't.
That would be great. Is the rival the Spartans? That would also be very awesome.
yeah.
Oh,
You know
God.
what? You got to think about this thing as if it's going to be an event. You got to
Right.
you got to really do it like a weekend. So like Friday starts off with the golf tournament at mini golf, and and all
Then
all that
go-kart
kind of
racing.
yeah. I mean,
Oh my god.
yeah,
Yeah.
Then we're gonna go get some sliders.
right.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
There's
I mean,
definitely no White Castle in Estherville, that's for sure.
wow. Yeah, there was a time when there was none outside of like Queens, New York. White Castle was just when I grew
Right.
up. It was just a Queens, New York thing. It wasn't. That's interesting.
I'm
But
not
no,
sure. I'm not sure I've ever ate there, to be honest with you.
oh, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. My brother loved them.
Yeah,
Awful.
I've made bad decisions at White Castle.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy were on a road trip to Wisconsin. We drove past one. We never seen one. Big fans of Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. We bought about 60 burgers.
Yeah.
And that's what we ate for 3 days. We did not
For
make good
3
life
days.
decisions.
Well, yeah, they're so small that you could probably
could-
eat
yeah,
20
you
of
could
them in a sitting, right?
Yeah, they gave us 2 grocery bags of burgers and we left the place. And
Yeah.
that was our groceries. I think they were having a sale. And that's why it seems like the best decision if we spend $50 on burgers
Wow.
right now.
Right.
Right. I mean, I remember back in the day when Hardee's had their mushroom and Swiss burgers on special for 99 cents. I probably, for that whole month where they were 99 cents, I probably had 3 of those a day, and that's all I ate.
Wow. I'm getting
remember
a
that.
stomach ache just hearing about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Like, my
Well,
bowels are going to drop out if you say that again. Yeah, yeah. Like,
we don't. I don't even see a lot of the fast food stuff that people talk about anymore. Like there are not. I mean, you see the big 3 around here, I guess, but I don't like Arby's. People talk about Arby's. I know there are a couple on Long Island. People have mentioned it to me, but I don't see them anywhere. Arby's to me had gone away in the '70s, and Hardee's is another one. I haven't seen that at least in 30 years.
That must be Arby's must be really a Midwest thing. They're all around here. I got one
Yeah.
2 blocks away from me.
Wow.
yeah. There's
There's
actually,
five in my city.
I think there's 4. Maybe there might be 5 now. There might be 5
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
What about Subway? You big on Subway out there?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Subway's everywhere. Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
Walmart has one.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And,
You know,
like
Fired
truck
from one in
stops have
Walmart.
them
That
now
was fun.
too. Our Love's truck stop. There's a bunch of Love's truck stops that have Subways in them too.
wow. When I was in New Mexico, the truck stop was the thing to do at 4:00 in the morning. You'd go to the truck stop for like in Long Island. You'd go to a diner. You'd go to the truck stop for the greasiest fucking bacon and eggs that ever happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing. Walk to the truck stop. That's a weird experience. I don't think most people in the East Coast really get that whole rural truck stop in the middle of the night
Yeah.
type of.
Yeah, I used to be the overnight cook at a Denny's at a truck stop, so I definitely know.
Denny's, yeah, that's another
Yeah,
thing that this part of America doesn't relate to Waffle Houses. None of that here.
Truck
yeah,
stops are amazing. You don't know how important they are until you have to buy an anniversary gift at 4 in the morning.
yeah, yeah.
You know those glass
while
figurines
while
coming
she's
in.
while she's napping because she said something about it yesterday before she fell asleep on the. Yeah, no, I totally
I've
know.
done that. I was out doing a gig on the road, coming back in the morning. I was driving driving at like 3 in the morning, got into town, and that day was our anniversary, I think it was. And I just had nothing. I just had to make a quick.
Wow. Yeah, no.
And she loved it. I'll never tell her
Me,
where it came
I'm the
from.
kind of guy who just fess up that I'm sorry I didn't get you anything. I forgot.
Nope, it ain't broke if you can fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but I think, see, I'm pretty open to the fact that not Mr. Romance in any kind of relationship I've ever been in. Don't expect things from me because I, I will let you down. I will
um,
disappoint you.
I'm so the opposite. When I married my wife, I sing a lot of. We go out to karaoke a lot, and I sing "Lady" to her. That's like always my song to her. Well, when we got married, I bought those plots of land in Scotland to make her an actual lady. Like it was like that was like the it was the smartest and dumbest thing I ever did because it was super, super romantic, but it also set the bar really high as
Oh
far
yeah,
as
yeah.
romantic gesture goes. You know what I mean? So now I
Also,
have to keep trying to do that level of stuff
she,
forever.
Wow.
Coming up on our 1 year anniversary.
All right, now you're getting muted.
she
Preston, you're not married, I guess. I'm taking.
engaged.
Sorry. My
Yeah.
condolences. How long you got?
Actually, I start my sentence in about 11 months. They're letting me out, get my affairs in order.
Right.
That's nice. You're out
So
on bond right now?
maybe it's a good idea to have like start paying like small dividends to a divorce lawyer now, so that
Oh
when
my God. Oh my
Keep
God.
them on
like
retainer.
a divorce savings account.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Well, I mean, so your betrothed, betrothed, whatever they call it.
Betrothed.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a
Yeah. That's I
She
think that's the
understands you're a
phrase.
comedian, but does she understand what that really means?
Yeah, she actually we were together when I first started doing this. She's always been a big supporter of me. She
Yeah.
understands what this all would entail, and she actually believes in me. She's got me to when I've been too late. She said, "Get off your ass." I think she's a future gold digger. Is what I think she is. I think she just wants me
This
to
is
make a
the
million and then take it all. I don't know. She believes in me or something crazy bitch.
Unfortunately, this is all too common. Is
I
that
know.
in especially in music, music and comedy, I guess both, sometimes in acting, is that they're assuming that you're going to make it, and you might make it to stardom or to a very lucrative position in that field, but it takes longer than they're expecting. And so I know when
Right.
I got married the first time, my wife was thinking, record deals right around the corner, and there was a kind of a record deal right around the corner, but that still meant being fucking dirt poor
Yeah.
and having so the time it took to be self-sufficient where you're making the same kind of money that the guy down the block in accounting is making can take too
Right.
long, and then women get tired of it. Well, I thought we'd be successful, but now it's 7 years in and we're still living in a trailer 7 years in. I did
Yeah.
not expect this, so that's
No. I make jokes about it, but I do. No. This woman is a one of a kind, wonderful, very supportive. She's actually helped me out One thing I think it's an important thing to live within your means, especially if you're trying to live your dreams. Like we bought our house. We probably have the cheapest place to live in Sioux Falls. We got this place. It's a little small for us, but we got it so I could try to chase my dream of comedy because we got it that I only need to make $8,000 a year to pay our bills.
Oh my God.
Yes, and that took a lot of work to get that, and we worked on that together because she goes, I know this is not going to be an instant thing. I know if you do take off on this and go full force in this, we got to be in a place that's not going to ruin us. So we worked out a plan and actually got this. So, and no, if it wasn't for my collarbone, I was working concrete, saving up money. I sadly had to burn through my savings, but the plan was this winter, hopefully take the next year off and
Yeah.
do some
You know,
stuff like
if I had that small yearly bill that I needed to make, I could probably live like Elon Musk, or just off a paper route.
yeah.
Do my paper route every morning, and I'm living the life of Riley. Wow, Sioux Falls in general, though, probably I'm thinking not one of the most expensive places to live
Be so fucking surprised if you're no, this is like it's hard to find one
They got
bedroom,
both ends
two-bedroom
of the
apartment.
spectrum for sure.
Yeah, they are rent's insane. There is not much affordable housing out here. We actually had to buy a house because rent was so expensive.
That's surprising. I would think, and I know that Sioux Falls is a city. It's not country. It's not rural, but you just think that because I know Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania, there are houses selling for $50,000. You can't buy a dog house in New York for $50,000.
Right.
You know. Tell me about your name, because William seems to suggest that there's something interesting about your name.
Okay,
Dude.
so my stage name is Preston Williams. It's a name I picked because I have a very terrible last name. Always got sick of people not being pronounced growing up. I'll give you one chance. Gagne. How would you pronounce that?
Gagne, Gagne?
Yeah, that's wrong.
Okay, Gagne.
Nope, fucking wrong. I'll give you one more guess. No one knew. This is weird.
You already given me one anyway. I already failed. So
I usually only give people one. You got two, then you're still wrong.
I don't know how.
But Gagne is actually
Gagne.
There's a famous wrestler, Vern Gagne. But
oh yeah.
But I just got sick. Actually, the way teachers used to pronounce it was Gagne, as in gag me. And that's not the funny part, though. I have 5 legal names.
Wow.
My full legal
his
name,
idea is insane.
My full legal name is Preston William Jonathan Peter Gagne.
Wow.
My name is Preston Willie Johnson Peter. My name is Preston Dick Gagne. I fucking changed it.
That's gold, definitely.
Yeah.
That actually got me out of a couple tickets for 2 reasons. One, the cop laughs at that bit. I just do that bit.
Yeah.
And second off, I have literally gotten out of tickets in other states because my name wouldn't fit into their database. There was too many characters. Because
now, did you ever go to your mom and say, "What's up, Ma?"
What? Yeah, no. She forgot why she did this. No, actually, okay. Actually, I do know why she did this, and it's weird and petty. So there's a tradition
Not
in my
your
family,
mom.
actually, that you have 4 names. You have 1 first name and then 2 middle names, and your 2 middle names are supposed to be on your mother's side, your father, and then your grandfather. So it's your name, your father's name, your grandfather's name, and it was that way so you could trace your lineage.
Wow.
But my mom had a falling out with her parents, didn't want to do that tradition anymore. But for some fucking reason, decided to not have 4 names, but to add another name and then make them up.
Right.
So it's petty and weird, and I still don't get it.
Right. Did she drink? Was she a drinker?
Not terribly, no.
I have weird stuff in my family. History is, God, I've talked about how fucked up my family was. But my father, his mother, my grandmother, my father's mother, came over on the boat. Literally came over on a boat from Italy, all right off the boat, and she never mastered the English language. And whatever she spoke was extremely broken English, Italian, and nobody could understand a word she said. So when my father was born, she named him Matteo, which is Italian for Matt. I got to take a bite of gums right now. But so she named him Matteo, but when they asked her to put it on the birth certificate, nobody could understand what she was saying. So they wrote down Matino, which means nothing. And so, wait, it gets better. So now, instead of calling him Matino, she wanted him to be a judge. So she would call him Judge, but nobody could understand what she was saying. So he became George. His whole life he was named George when his mother wanted to name him Matteo. And everybody thinks his name was George. It's just like